On a bright day in a beautiful land far beyond any place known to humankind, a magical crow crossed the mountains and reached a cave. It was not only its appearance that made it magical. The bird could speak. The cave was no ordinary cave. It was the lair of a dark witch named Ginjama. The crow brought a message from its mistress, another dark witch named Bastinda, who was ready to trade an elixir of immortality for a pair of silver shoes. Ginjama did not want to be disturbed. She was in the middle of a brew. After mixing many ingredients in her cauldron, she still needed one more, a rare flower that blooms only once every 20 years, the buragon. Frustration rose as it could not be found until her servant arrived with the flower in hand. She dropped it into the cauldron, and the mixture turned into a deadly storm potion, a weapon she planned to unleash to destroy humankind. The scene shifts to the Smith family, John and Anna, their daughter Ellie, and a pet named Totoshka. They are on a trip to a remote village, part vacation, part attempt to take Ellie away from the internet. They do not expect how clever she can be. Ellie hides her phone inside a book and keeps scrolling through social media. When Dad Smith takes the phone in anger, Ellie refuses to apologize. She vents her frustration and walks away from her parents. In that tense moment, a tornado strikes and sweeps Ellie and Totoshka into the storm.
Vamos, entra al auto. ¡Entra! ¡Hija!
Time passes. Totoshka tries to wake Ellie, who is unconscious, and the two of them are still inside their trailer. Then comes the shock. Totoshka can speak like a person. That is only the first surprise.
Debes haberte golpeado la cabeza.
¿Tú dijiste eso?
¿Quién?
When they open the trailer door, they discover they are perched on a cliff at the mouth of a cave. The trailer is unstable, so Totoshka urges Ellie to climb out through the window. Ellie remembers the phone she hid earlier and reaches for it first. The delay proves costly. The trailer tumbles into the ravine. A new world has opened. This is the Wizard of the Emerald City. Ellie and Totoshka survive, and a lively clamor rises around them. It comes from the Javuni, a dwarf folk. They introduce themselves, welcome Ellie to the Blue Land, and assume she is a fairy. In the confusion, a Javuni named Urfin arrives. He is a servant of Ginjama and announces that his mistress is dead, so the Javuni can finally eat freely. Joy spreads through the crowd. Years of oppression suddenly lifted. Even so, they refuse to accept Urfin as their leader. Only a fairy or a witch should rule a land, they say, so they agree to appoint Ellie as their new leader. Ellie can only grow more confused until a fairy named Vilina appears. Vilina explains that Ellie's trailer fell on Ginjama and killed her. There is no need for guilt. Ginjama caused greater harm in life. In other words, Ellie and Totoshka have become heroes, and the Javani celebrate them. Vilina then explains everything. Ginjama had planned to destroy the humans of Earth, and Vilina tried to stop her by redirecting the storm. But in doing so, she accidentally sent Ellie's trailer flying into the world of the Javuni. Ellie begs to be sent home, but Vilina apologizes. The human world and this magical realm are separated by a cursed mountain. The only way to cross between the worlds is through a magic storm, and only a witch can create one. In this land, dark witches are called witches, while kind ones are known as fairies. Ellie does not give up. She borrows Vilina's magic book to learn about the different regions of this world. The Blue Land, where she is now, once belonged to Ginjama. The Yellow Land is ruled by Vilina. The Red Land is ruled by Peristella. The gloomy Purple Castle belongs to Bastinda, the wicked witch who would only throw Ellie to a man-eater if she asked for help. And finally, the Green Land is ruled by Goodwin, a great and fearsome wizard. Totoshka wonders if someone terrifying might also be someone who can help. Suddenly, the letters in the magic book lift off the page and form a message. If Ellie can help 3 mythical beings, Goodwin will grant her a way home. Vilina explains that Ellie only needs to follow the yellow brick road to reach the Green Land, also known as the Emerald City. She must stay on the road because leaving it is dangerous. To walk that far, she needs shoes. Fortunately, Totoshka has brought the silver shoes. They are too large at first, but they are magic, so they adjust to Ellie's feet. With that, Ellie and Totoshka set off on their journey. Meanwhile, in the Purple Castle, Bastinda amuses herself by tormenting a pair of Javuni. The male Javuni blinks to save his beloved, proving his love. Instead of being moved, Bastinda is enraged because love is strictly forbidden. Both of them are dragged to the dungeon. The magical crow from earlier, Kagi Kar, arrives to report that Guillermo has been crushed by Ellie's small house. Bastinda pauses to mourn her sister, but quickly asks about the silver shoes. When she learns that Ellie now has them, her grief turns to fury. With the shoes, she could rule the world. Even Goodwin the Great would bow to her. She sends Kagi Carr to retrieve the shoes, and to be sure, she sends her left eye as a spy to watch everything. Back on the road, Ellie and Totoshka arrive at a pumpkin field. While Totoshka takes a break, he notices a scarecrow blink. Ellie checks but sees nothing strange and assumes Totoshka imagined it. They continue forward. Suddenly, Kagi Carr appears and claims to be a mythical creature seeking help. But when Ellie asks what he needs, the scarecrow reacts. Kagi Carr insults it, and the way he does it makes Ellie think they know each other. She tries to record the moment with her phone, but the flash scares Kagi Carr away. Ellie is disappointed, thinking she missed her chance. Then the scarecrow moves again, trying to communicate. Ellie realizes it has no mouth, so she decides to draw one for it. It takes effort, but she keeps trying. Before long, after a bit of trial and error, Ellie manages to draw a mouth on the scarecrow's face. The scarecrow, now called Strashila, comes to life with joy. He starts thinking about what he will ask from Goodwin once they reach the Emerald City. But then he realizes he has no brain at all. So the first wish becomes clear. Strashila wants a mind of his own. Their journey continues, passing through landscapes that are beautiful but full of hidden danger. Meanwhile, Bastinda, still furious after losing her sister and failing to retrieve the silver shoes, summons two Javuni servants. She orders them to bring her a creature known as the Man-Eater. If he refuses to obey, the Javuni will be fed to her beloved beasts. Back on the road, the group grows livelier. Strashila asks endless questions about everything he sees. Ellie tries to find a phone signal, hoping for just one moment online. Of course, there is none. And in the quiet of that realization, her thoughts return to her argument with her parents. She begins to truly feel regret. At the Purple Castle, the Man-Eater finally arrives before Bastinda. He has no intention of serving her, but Bastinda releases a spell that forces him to bend to her will. She orders him to take the silver shoes from Ellie, promising him two rewards. He may have Ellie for himself, and the castle he once loved will be returned to him. Meanwhile, Ellie and her group enter a dark forest. Not long in, they find a bottle of oil and hear a heavy echoing sound.
¿Qué hace algo como eso aquí?
¿Oyes eso? ¿Viene de ahí?
Totoshka rushes toward it, and they soon discover what appears to be a statue. But upon closer look, it is a figure made entirely of metal, frozen in place by rust caused from constant tears. Strashila suggests using the oil they found. It works. The metal figure can speak again.
Parece que está llorando.
Muchas gracias. Permítanme que me presente.
He introduces himself as Zhelezny, a tin woodcutter. As they apply more oil, he tells his story. He once loved a beautiful woman and asked her to marry him, but her stepmother despised him and hired Gingama to curse him. Each time he swung his axe, it struck his own body. Piece by piece, he had to replace himself with metal, until his heart was replaced with gears. Unable to bear that empty existence, he left the woman he loved behind. After thanking Ellie and her friends, Zhelezny prepares to leave, hoping Ginjema will never harm anyone again. But Ellie invites him to join them. If Goodwin can grant wishes, perhaps he can give Zhelezny a heart so he can love once more. Zhelezny agrees. Now there are 3 travelers and 1 little dog on the road, heading toward the Emerald City. Sometime later, Ellie and her group enter a damp, narrow canyon. As they move along the cliffs, Zhelezny and Strashila talk about Goodwin, the powerful wizard who even Bastinda fears. In the middle of their conversation, they suddenly realize that Ellie and Totoshka are no longer with them. The two hurry to search. Meanwhile, Ellie and Totoshka are arguing. Totoshka keeps playing with his toy chicken, and Ellie snaps at him in a way that reminds her of her mother. The realization hits her hard, and she feels a deep sense of longing. Then a whisper calls her name. While Totoshka gets caught in a trap, Ellie follows the voice. It leads her to a patch of enchanted mushrooms planted by Bastinda. The Man-Eater is there, pretending to be Goodwin. He tells Ellie he can send her home using a magical cauldron. At the same time, Zhelezny and Strashila find Totoshka and free him. He runs to Ellie, but she has already climbed into the cauldron. Zhelezny and Strashila rush to stop the Man-Eater. Totoshka tries first, but it isn't enough. The fight begins. The Man-Eater is strong and fierce, built for one thing. Strashila comes up with a plan, but Zhelezny must distract him first. Totoshka lies trapped under a smaller cauldron with the silver shoes on top, while Ellie is stuck in the larger one.
¿Ya estamos peleando? ¡Déjala ir! ¡Deja a Dorothy!
Zelazny throws a piece of wood to draw the man-eater's attention. When the man-eater attacks the distraction, a heavy rock falls and knocks him out. Once again, Bastinda fails to claim the silver shoes. She can only watch through her spying eye, overcome with anger and despair. Ellie is freed, and Totoshka brings her the silver shoes. But one question lingers. Why did Ellie willingly step into the cauldron if she knew it meant danger? Ellie has no answer. The stress overwhelms her, and she collapses. Her friends realize how much she misses her parents, and understand her actions come from that longing. Back at the Purple Castle, Bastinda stews in frustration. The man-eater had desperately wanted his castle returned. Yet even with that motivation, he failed. Orphan arrives with a container holding the deadly storm Ginjima once brewed, and claims he brought it to please Bastinda. She knows her sister would never give such power away. Orphan admits he stole it, hoping Bastinda will teach him magic in return. Bastinda agrees, but only if he brings her the silver shoes. Meanwhile, Ellie's group continues through the canyon, still going in circles with no way back. Going backward means facing the man-eater again. Suddenly, a sound makes Totoshka sprint ahead. The group soon finds him yelling at what he thinks is a scruffy cat, but it is not a cat at all. It is a lion. This lion is not fierce. He is timid and gentle. He introduces himself as Truslivi Lev, a king of the forest without any followers because of his overwhelming fear. His own subjects drove him away. Strashila suggests they invite him to join the group so he can ask Goodwin for courage and reclaim his title. At first, Truslivi Lev refuses, terrified of the dangers ahead. But the idea of being left alone in the canyon, where the man-eater could awaken at any moment, frightens him even more. So trembling, he agrees to go with them. After some time, the narrow cracks in the canyon begin to widen. This means Ellie and her friends are close to the exit, and soon they will find the yellow brick road again. Suddenly, a small mouse appears, and Truslivi Lev freezes in fear. Of course, he is terrified. He is supposed to roar, but instead, when Totoshka tries to teach him, the lion lets out a tiny meow.
Oye, estoy muy triste de ver. ¡Ruge!
No puedo hacerlo.
¡Ruge!
It is ridiculous, but also a little heartwarming. They decide to ignore the mouse and keep moving. Meanwhile, Bastinda is growing impatient. She has the deadly storm, but still no plan to reach Ellie. Urfin arrives and reminds her of Ginjama's old trick, the one used to make people fall asleep. That sparks an idea. Bastinda begins casting a spell to grow fields of poppies along Ellie's path. Back on the journey, Ellie's group talks about courage. Totoshka says he found his courage the day he protected Ellie from a neighbor's bulldog. Zelazny, back when he was human, feared only one thing, losing the heart he cherished. Ellie is barely listening. She is distracted by the sight of a beautiful field of poppies and excitedly invites everyone to take a picture together. They pose, smile, and then, one by one, Ellie, Totoshka, and Truslivi Lev fall asleep where they stand. Strashila tries to wake them, but Zelazny stops him, thinking they are only tired. Far away, Bastinda is thrilled her plan has worked. But then she realizes the same magical sleep has affected her spying eye. Even the witch herself falls into a drowsy haze. She quickly sends Orphan to retrieve the silver shoes, this time accompanied by a saber-toothed lion, one of her loyal beasts. Meanwhile, Zelazny and Strashila are desperate. Ellie, Totoshka, and Truslivi Lev are still unconscious. Suddenly, a mouse appears again. This time it speaks. It warns them that if they do not move their friends out of the poppy field, they will wither away just like the dried trees nearby. Zelazny and Strashila waste no time. They begin dragging their friends to safety. Ellie wakes up and finds herself at home, in her bedroom with her parents nearby. For a moment, she believes she has returned. But when she cannot find Totoshka, the illusion breaks. She awakens again in the field, realizing it was only a dream. Totoshka lies beside her, still asleep. Just as Ellie begins to lose hope, the mouse returns. This time she introduces herself as Ramina, the queen of mice. She explains that Totoshka will wake soon, but Truslivi Lev is far too heavy to move alone. Ellie pleads for help. Saving a lion is the last thing mice would ever want to do, yet Ellie does not give up. Her determination moves Ramina. With the help of many mice, they push Truslivi Lev on a small cart, guiding him safely out of the poppy field. Ramina is touched by Ellie's courage and sincerity. As a gift, she gives Ellie a flute, promising that it will help when she truly needs it. And as the queen and her mice retreat, poppy petals scatter into the air, signaling that the spell has been broken. Even Zelazny admits he has never seen anything like it. Unfortunately, Totoshka and Truslivi Lev have not yet awakened. At the same time, Bastinda's spying eye opens again. The witch sees everything. She is furious, not only because her plan failed, but because she spots Orphan already near Ellie, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Ellie and her friends wait in the clearing, hoping Truslivi Lev and Totoshka will wake up soon. The journey is almost over, but they cannot continue without them. Suddenly, Ellie's phone lights up. Not a call or a message, just a calendar reminder showing videos from her past. A birthday, laughter, her family together. The memories hit her all at once. Then she realizes Totoshka is awake, sitting beside her. He reminds her that the past cannot be undone, but she can still move forward. At that moment, a loud roar echoes through the canyon, and it is not Truslivi Lev. Ellie tells Totoshka to wake the lion while she, Shelesny, and Strashila rush ahead to create a distraction. They reach a broken bridge. To get across, Shelesny kneels down and becomes a stepping platform. It works for a moment, but the path ahead collapses, and the group must climb instead. As they struggle forward, Orphan arrives with a pack of saber-toothed lions surrounding them. The first lion slips and falls. The second is knocked away when Strashila throws himself forward in sacrifice. Shelesny climbs to face the third, but Orphan throws a stone that strikes him, causing him to lose balance and fall. Now Ellie is alone and cornered. Then another roar shakes the air. Truslivi Lev appears. This time he stands firm. He refuses to run. He fights to protect Ellie. The battle is even, and neither side yields until Truslivi Lev hurls himself forward, taking the saber-toothed lion down with him. Ellie stumbles to her feet just as Totoshka faces Orphan. Orphan reveals his goal. He wants the silver shoes. Hearing this, Ellie offers them willingly, as long as Totoshka is not harmed. But Totoshka will not allow it. With one bold push, he sends Orphan tumbling into the ravine. Moments later, the truth is revealed. Shelesny, Strashila, and Truslivi Lev are all alive. Strashila even managed to grab the silver shoes during the chaos. The group reunites, full of relief, but something still weighs on Ellie's heart. She admits that earlier, when the man-eater pretended to be Goodwin, she almost chose to leave everyone behind. Totoshka already knew, and he forgave her. The moment is quiet and full of emotion. Soon they return to the yellow brick road. The Emerald City rises ahead, shining between the mountains. As they climb the steps, each member thinks about what they will ask from the great wizard. Strashila dreams of becoming a scholar if he gains a brain. Shelesny wants to find the woman he once loved if he receives a heart. Truslivi Lev cannot even answer. His fear returns the closer they get. Ellie and Totoshka simply want to go home. They know that when this is over, they will have to say goodbye. Ellie promises she will never forget them. Totoshka encourages the group as they approach the towering gates of the Emerald City. They have made it. At the same moment, high above, Kagi Kar arrives before Goodwin. He warns that Bastinda now holds the deadly storm, and if Goodwin grants Ellie's request, she will come to seize it. Bastinda will stop at nothing to claim the silver shoes. Goodwin did not expect this, but now there is no avoiding it, and the story ends here. So the moral of the story is, maybe don't scroll your phone during family time, or you might accidentally become a fairy queen with talking pets and a lion that meows.